Any doubts? So any doubts? Okay, for everyone, this is clear now. That inheritance. What is inheritance? What is inheritance? So it is a process of using the functionality of one class in another class, right? It is a concept of using functionality of one class in another class, right? That is inheritance. That means if you have the set of functionality and if you want to use the same set of functionality in another class, you can simply make use of this particular setup. That means functionality. Okay, so that concept is called inheritance. So yesterday we had started with inheritance and discussed about parent class, child class, all those things. So and we have seen one program also, right? And this is that program. Okay, so for easy understanding, I'll explain another program also. I'll explain another program. So on this I make comment. Hope it is clear, right? So here I'm taking one class, right? My class name is my parent. Okay, class name is my parent. So in this my parent, what I'm doing is I'm defining one method. I'm defining one method. Of course, you know how to declare define the method. Def, you have to use the keyword def, and I'm defining the method called m1, and this is the reference parameter reference for this particular class. Okay, so a b c. So it is taking this m1 is taking 3 parameters as arguments, right? After getting that, I'm assigning the a value to one local variable called v1, and another variable v2 is assigned with b, another variable v3 is assigned with c. Now whatever the 3 numbers we are getting from the programmer or user of this m1 method, so the 3 values we are assigning to the 3 variables here. Okay, this is the definition of my parent. Now I'm taking another class, my child. Okay, so this class is inheriting the my parent. That means whatever the functionality defined in the above class, this my parent class, so all the functionality will be make using, it is using by the my child, right? So here in my child, what I'm doing is I'm defining another method called m2. Okay, here I'm passing two arguments. Here I'm passing two arguments. So the two arguments again I'm giving it to the two local variables vv1, vv2. Okay, now here, see here, I'm creating the object for my child. I'm creating the object for which class? My child. My child means this one. Okay, so when you are creating this object for this particular child class, right? Okay, once it is created, since my child doesn't have any constructor, so no constructor will be executed. Okay, here in these scenarios, I am not taking any constructor. Okay, for simple understanding purpose. Right, now the class is created. Right, so now I'm accessing method m2. Where is this m2? It is in child. Whether you can access? Yes, I can access because already I have created the object for the class called my child. Okay, now I can access very well this m2. So you have to pass the two values. Okay, so I'm passing two values 10 and 20. Okay, fine, 10 and 20 is passed here, right? Then with the same object I am going to access m1 also, but m1 is not a method of this my child, but already I told the Java virtual machine that I am going to use the functionality of my parent. So all the members of my parents also can be accessed by the my child. Okay. So now here, if you give this obj m1, and of course m1 method is here. It is a method of, it is a member of my parent class. So but this can be accessed by the my child, since my child is inheriting the functionality of my parent. So now here I'm calling object m1. Whether we can call this object is belongs to my child class, but still my child class object, by using my child class object, still we are calling the m1 method. Why? Because since it is inherited. Okay, so and I'm giving 100, 200, 300. That 100 will be stored in v1, 200 will be stored in v2, and 300 will be stored in v3. Okay, now here what I'm doing, I'm printing obj v1 value. V1 value means it is not, obj means it is the object of child class, this class. But whether I can write obj dot v1, yes I can write, because since I have written this one, I have inherited. Okay, so then obj v2, right, I can write obj v3, I can write obj v1, yes, right. Now what it will print? Somebody, so what it will print? Now click on run inheritance. Some comment, okay, here. Okay, it is printing 100, 300, 100, 200, 300, 10, 20. So v1 value is 100, 200, 300, then vv1 10, 20, right? Right, any doubt here? Now for example, if I remove this, that means my child class is separate, it is not inheriting, my child is separate, it is not inheriting parent class. So now in this case, when it is not inheriting the parent class, right, so this will be executed fine, but this will give error. Why? Because obj is whose object it is? Obj is the object of my child class. By using the my child class object, how you can call m1? Because m1 is not a member of my child, no? It is a member of my parent. So definitely it will throw an error. Let us check it whether it will throw an error or not. See here, it is telling that okay, obj m.m1 accessing parent method, right? My child object no attribute m1. That means my child is having, there is no method called m1, it is telling, right? But if you write here, sorry, but if you inherit, then it won't give error. Why? Because now the compiler is having information that okay, my child is going to use all the members of my parent also. Okay, is clear? Any doubt? Clear or any doubt? Shall we move to the next part? Any doubt? Hope no doubt, right? Okay, fine. So now I'll comment it out. Close it. Of course, this already we have seen yesterday, right? Right. Now what we have seen yesterday. So just we'll have a look. Okay. So here I'm having my P. So there in my P one constructor is there. That constructor is assigning the values to it is taking two values A and B, and the two values are gets added together, and it is storing the result in a variable, local variable called E, right? So then I'm having another class, my child. This is inheriting the my parent. So here one method I have defined here. My child is doesn't have any constructor, so I have defined one method m1. Okay, it does not take any parameter. Just simply it will access the member of my class my B. Okay, because this E is not a member of my child class, because in child class I not nowhere I have declared about E, but this E is available in the my P. Okay, so I can access very well because this class is inheriting the my P class. So I can access all the members, right? So now what I'm doing now, I'm creating object for my child class only. My child class only. I'm passing 10 and 20. But here in child class, there is no constructor, right? So then who will take this 10 and 20? This parent class constructor will take the 10 and 20. Okay, 10 will be 10 and 20 will be added together, and the result will be E, stored in E. Okay, then when you are calling M1, okay, that M1 value will be, that means M1 is this one, so it is executing and printing the value of E. That means addition result of A and B. Okay, so here you will get some 30 answer, right? And similarly, I'm creating one more object. Of course, this somebody has asked now. For that, I will explain this. Okay, this is not required for us, right? Any doubt here? Because why I have repeated this program now? Because in the next program we'll have little bit, next step, little bit complex. Okay. So what you have to observe here before going to the next program, what you have to observe here is here I am creating the object for my child, right? And I'm passing the two parameters. So when you are passing the parameters at the time of creation of object means, that means what does it means? That means these values will be given to the constructor. That means we are passing these values for constructor. Since constructor is a default method that will be executed at the time of creation of object. So for that constructor, it may be asking two variables, two parameters. That's the reason we are passing the two parameters here. But actually here, my child does not have any constructor, right? Does not have any constructor, but still we are passing 10 and 20. Why we are passing 10 and 20 when the my child class does not have constructor? So this my child is inherited one class called myp. That myp is having the constructor that is asking two parameters. Okay, for that we are passing it. So when it is inherited, this class, so all the members it can access, and all the constructors, whatever the constructor is there here, that constructor will be executed. When you are creating the object for this my child class, the constructor of my parent is also executed. Why? Because this is inherited my p. Okay, that's the reason we have to give the, for example, if I don't give these values, what will happen? We'll see. Okay, if I don't give these values, what will happen? We'll see. So it is telling some error. What is that error? Child don't have init. Okay, so it inherits parent init. Child don't have inherit. It inherits parent init. Okay, init. It is missing two required positional arguments, A and B. Okay, that means the child is, when you are creating the object, it will check for constructor. Yes, child does not have any constructor, but child is inheriting the my parent. So when it is inheriting my parent, the child constructor will inherit the my parent constructor automatically, right? So that means if you don't declare constructor for my child also, my child will treat my parent constructor as its own constructor, right? So that's the reason we have to give the parameters here. So someone is asking, once more repeat, sir, which topic? Repeat. Okay, Gupta sir, now give default value. Okay, where I have to give default value, Manish? Okay, so now here, okay, what I will do is, here I will give default value for the constructor of my parent. Okay, what is the default value? 1 and 2 I will give the default value. Okay, 1 and 2 I will give the default value. Okay, now see here, I am creating the object for my child. Okay, so any class, when you are creating the object, so it will look for constructor, whether any default constructor is there, that means default method is there to execute. Okay, now this child does not have any default method, right? Any default method, but it is inheriting my p, right? So my p is having default method. Okay, so now what child will do is, so this default method, this constructor of my p is there now, that constructor child will treat its own constructor. It will inherit all the functionality, all the members means, which includes the constructor also now. So whatever the constructor is there in my parent, that my parent constructor also will act as my child constructor, since it doesn't have any constructor. Okay, so now but here it is taking two parameters, but the two parameter values I gave default values 1 and 2. Okay, so when you are creating the child object for child class, so it will look for constructor of child, but child does not have constructor. Then child is instructing inheriting my p. So then it will look for my p constructor. Yes, my p constructor is there. For my p there is a constructor. Okay, so it is taking two parameters, but two parameters I'm not giving here. I have given the default values for the two parameters, right? So now if I execute, what will be the answer? Since I have not given any parameters here, so 1 and 2 is treated as default value. 1 plus 2, 3, that is stored in E. And when you are calling object M1, this object M1 is printing the value of E. Value of E is 3, right? Of course, if you give some 10 and 20, 10, 20, okay, then if you execute, you will get answer as 30. Okay. So now give default value. I gave default value now, Manish. Then I gave default value. Okay, if you are getting error in your code, you just send that code to me. I'll check and tell you where is it. Okay. Now whether it is clear, or if you want, okay, here, fine. Now my child, for example, here my child does not have any constructor. Now in my parent also, I don't declare any constructor. I don't declare any constructor. Okay, so simply I'll declare definition. Okay, that means function 1 2 3. Okay, so it is taking two values, x equal to 1, y equal to default values. Okay, two parameters. Then self dot e equal to x plus y. Okay, now what is the case here? Class myp is having only the definition. It does not have any constructor. And my child is also having only the method. It does not have any constructor. So myp is having one user defined function called fun123, and my child is having one user defined function called m1. Right? Now when you create this, when you create the object for my child, what happens? Okay, object is created. Then if we call obj1, can you guess the result here? Can you guess the result? What will be the result? Can anyone expect the result here? If you can tell this result now, then we can understood that you have got enough idea about this inheritance. Yes, Manish is telling error. Let us see. Yes, error. Right? Why error? Why error? Can anyone tell? Because see here, my p, I'm having user defined function. My child, I'm having user defined function. That means here I don't have constructor, here I don't have the constructor. Right? So now if I give values also 10 and 20 also, that means since my child does not have any constructor, at least my parent is having, no, my parent is also not having any constructor, right? So then the constructor won't be executed. Simple object is created, right? Simple object is created called obj, right? Obj. Now I'm calling obj.m1. Obj.m1 means it is a function of user defined function of my child class. What we are doing here, we are printing the value of e, right? But e is the member of which class? My parent class. Member of my parent class. Since it is a child class, it can access the member of my parent class. This variable it can access. But the thing is, the e value we can get only after executing this particular function. If you execute this function, then only 1 and 2 gets added and that value will be shown in e. But here I'm not executing, I'm not calling this fun123. Since it is not a constructor, it won't be executed by default. So we have to call manually. Since it is a user defined function, so we have to call manually. But without calling that, when you are trying to print e, so it will throw the error. What is the error? What is that error it is showing? My child object has no attribute e. That means my child e attribute is not there. That means it is not there here, or it is not given from parent also. Why it is not given from parent? So this e value will be generated only when you are executing this particular function. But I'm not executing this function, I'm directly executing the m1 function. So the e value is not generated. So when the e value is not generated, and if you are trying to use the e value, it will give the error. Okay, so to avoid this error, what you should do? Obj, first you execute the function of parent. So there we can give the, because this fun123 is taking two variables. Of course, if you don't give also, no problem, it will take the default value, right? Right, now you execute it. Yes, we are getting 30. We are getting 30. Now no error. Right? Hope it is clear to everyone. Any doubts till now? Any doubts till now? Okay. So now what I will do is I'll paste the last code only, because earlier what we have discussed is in my parent I'm having the constructor, in child I don't have the constructor. In this case, the conclusion is, what is the conclusion in this case? If child don't have constructor and if parent is having the constructor, the child class will inherit the constructor of parent class, right? That is clear. Why I'm discussing about this so much means in the next program we are going to see little bit complexity, right? So I'm increasing complexity. Somebody has raised the hand. Any doubt? Any doubt? Right. Now, no doubt, right? PP. Okay, fine. Right. Now, what I'm doing here is, okay, I'll comment it out. Now see this example. See here. Here my P1 is the parent. Here I'm having one constructor with the two parameters A and B. So what it is doing? It is adding A and B and getting stored in the C. Okay. And another class we are doing my child one, which is inheriting the my parent one. Okay. Then this my child is also having the constructor. You can see here this my child is also having one constructor. This is also taking two parameters. Okay. Here what we are doing, this constructor of child is doing, it is also taking two parameters, but what it is doing, it is doing the multiplication. That multiplication result getting stored in the C. Okay. Now here define. Okay, I'm defining one method called myPrint. Okay, and here I'm printing the self2.c. Okay, I'm here I'm printing the corresponding value. Like what we did here, same thing, same example, but the only thing is here also I have added one more constructor. Okay, now what I'm doing, of course, same way, I'm creating object obj to my child class, my child one. Okay, and I'm passing 10 and 20. Right, I'm passing 10 and 20. It is clear that these 10 and 20 will be given to the constructor. Now these 10 and 20 will be given to which constructor? Whether, because here in this case I am having the constructor in child, I am having the constructor in parent also. Okay. Now previously when I say here 10 and 20, the 10 and 20 is given to the constructor of the parent. Why? Because since the child does not have any constructor, so this 10 and 20, the child is inheriting the parent. So when the child don't have the constructor, its own constructor, it will inherit the constructor of parent. So that means, so this 10 and 20 will be passed to the constructor of its parent, right? But here child is having its own constructor and parent is also having its own constructor. Okay, now here when you are creating the object, you are passing the two variables, two values, right? So where it will go, this 10 and 20 will be given to the this constructor or this constructor. Can you guess the result now? Manish is asking, sir, my child inherit to only my P class. Okay, not the class function. See, when the class is inheriting the entire class means, when the class is inheriting the entire class means, what is the meaning of it? It is inheriting all the members of that particular class. Functions, variables, or anything, any members, all the members of my P can be accessed by the my child. Okay. Now this 10 and 20. Okay, let us check the result. Let us check the result and we'll understand. So answer is 200, right? So this C means why it is 200? Why it is 200? Because when the child is having its own constructor, whatever the values you are passing, that values are given to the constructor of child only. That means when the child is having the constructor, every class will have only one constructor, right? So your child is having one constructor and parent is having one constructor, but we are not executing the parent class, we are executing child class. So when the child is having the constructor, that constructor will override its parent constructor. Override, this is called method overriding. Okay, so when the child is having the constructor, right? Of course, if the parent does not have constructor means no confusion. But here the parent is having constructor and child is having the constructor. When both the classes, parent and child, are having the constructor, at the time of object creation, if you pass variables, so those variables are given to child, right? Those values are given to child. So since it is given to child, 10 will be showed in X, by 20 will be showed in Y. 10 into 20, 200. So now the C value will be 200. The C value is printing here. C value is printing here. See, when the child does not have constructor, if you execute, it will make use of, sorry, when you execute, it will make use of the constructor of parent. See, since I have commented here this constructor, since it does not have constructor, it is using the constructor of parent. A and B. 10 will be passed here, 20 will be passed here, 10 plus 20, 30, that will be showed in C, and that C value we are printing here. Okay, by calling my print function of child. But when the child itself having the constructor, it doesn't bother about parent constructor. It doesn't bother about parent constructor. Okay, is it clear? That means here what I mean to say is, when the child is having its own constructor, it will override the constructor of parent. Okay, why I am telling override? Because the parent constructor won't be executed. Obj init. No, init, we cannot give in obj.init because the constructor is automatically executed at the time of creation of object. When you are creating the object, now this time itself the constructor is automatically executed. That is the speciality of the constructor. Again, you no need to call like a normal user defined function, right? So now what I will do is, okay, I'll make some change here. Sorry, my parent let it be there. Okay, in my child class constructor, I don't take any parameters. So simply I will do here 10 into 20, 10 into 30. Okay, what I'm doing, my parent is having one constructor, is taking two variables. Okay, and my child is also having one constructor. It does not take any parameters, right? So in that, what is the functionality? It is multiplying 10 and 30. That result is getting stored in C. Right now, if I execute this, what will be the answer? If I execute this, what will be the answer? So if I execute this code, what will be the answer? Because why I'm asking now, before we are going to execute the program, that program we have to simulate in our mind, right? Since we are learning the concepts one by one, so those concepts we know we have to simulate in our mind. Okay, then you have to verify, you execute and see the answer. That time you verify your simulated answer with that answer what you got. If you do like that, you will get the programming skills. So all are telling answer is 30, but let us see, answer is not 30. What it is telling? What it is telling? Type error. Type error. What is the type error? Init takes one positional arguments, but 3 were given. Right? That means this init is taking only the self 2. That is only reference. Okay. But we are giving 10 and 20 also. We are trying to pass 10 and 20 also. I told one point now. When child is having the constructor, its own constructor, so it will override the constructor of parent. That means when the child constructor is there, then the parent constructor is overridden. Now see, in your application, only one constructor will be there. One constructor will be there. For example, assume this is the application. I'm having 2 classes, right? I'm having 2 classes. Okay. In 2 classes, only one class is having the constructor, means that constructor will access the constructor of application. Okay. For example, in my application, I'm having class 1 and class 2. Class 1 is parent, class 2 is child. Okay. So parent is having constructor, child is not having constructor. Then the parent constructor is access the constructor of your application, right? Okay. Next scenario, I'm having parent and child. In parent, I don't have the constructor, and child, I'm having the constructor. So now in this case, the child constructor will access the constructor of your application, right? Fine. Now in the third scenario, I'm having both child and parent, both are having constructors, right? So, but what the child will do? It will override your parent constructor. That means your parent constructor won't be executed at all, right? Won't be executed at all. By default, your child will override the constructor of parent. When the child is having its own constructor, it will not allow the parent constructor to execute, right? It will not allow your parent constructor to execute. So it will execute its own constructor only, right? So when you are creating the object, it will tell that, okay, only my constructor is there. Even though parent constructor is there, it will override it. Override means hide. It will hide that, right? So that's the reason when you are trying to pass 10 and 20 here, when you are trying to pass 10 and 20, in this case, when you are trying to pass 10 and 20, it is not taking. So it is giving the error as, so actually init is having only one positional parameter. You are telling 3, you are thinking that there are 3. Why I am thinking 3? This is 1 and I'm giving 2 values now, 10 and 20. So you are giving 3 parameters. Now I have removed this. Now let us execute this. Answer will be 300. Answer will be 300. That means here the conclusion is when your child is having the constructor, your parent constructor won't be executed. That is clear. Okay. When the child is having the constructor, your parent constructor is not executed. Child will not allow your parent constructor to execute. If and all, if child wants to execute your parent constructor, right? If child wants to execute parent constructor, it can execute. But if child don't want to execute your parent constructor, we cannot execute the parent constructor. Okay, is it clear? Is it clear? So now till now we have discussed one scenario with parent is having constructor, child does not have constructor. So in that case, no doubt, parent constructor will be used by the child constructor, right? Okay. Then in the second scenario, what is the second scenario? Child is having constructor, parent is having the constructor, but only child constructor will be executed. Child won't execute parent constructor. Child will not allow to execute parent constructor. Okay. And both are having its own constructors. Child will execute its own constructor. It will not depend on parent constructor. It will hide that parent constructor. Okay. Is it clear? Now, okay. Now what I want to do is I want to execute parent constructor also. My child is having the constructor, parent is having the constructor. Okay, I want to execute. Now here child is having the constructor and parent is also having the constructor. Now I want to execute, but in this case I'm not executing here this function. This object is not executing the parent constructor, it is executing only the child constructor. But now I want to execute child constructor as well as parent constructor also. Both the constructors I want to execute. By default, your child won't allow parent constructor to execute. Okay, but I want to execute parent constructor also along with the child constructor. So for that, what is the solution? So here I'm declaring same P1 in parent class. I'm declaring one constructor with A and B. I'm doing the addition, that value I'm showing in C. And I'm creating one child constructor. So child class C1 that is inheriting P1. So it is also having its own constructor. See here. Now this constructor. Now if you want to execute the parent constructor also along with the child constructor. So in that case, you have to call manually your parent constructor from child constructor. Okay, your parent constructor from child constructor, right? So what I will do is I will explain this here. So this inheritance is little bit tricky. It is. So all these are interview related. So if you go for any interview now, I mean they will twist here. Okay. So now this is class A. This is one class and class. Okay. So here what I will do is I'll take different scenarios. Okay. Now this is first scenario. This is parent. This is child. Okay. So assume here I'm having init. That means constructor. So here I don't have init. So then here what will be the result? What will be the result? I mean, so here parent constructor child will use parent init. Okay. Now here in the second scenario, parent is having init, child is also having init. Okay. So in this case, when you create the object for child will use only init of child init. Okay, child will use only init of child. That means this init will be executed. Okay. So this here this init will be executed. So in this scenario, this init will be executed. Okay. Now in the third scenario, I'm having init here, init in child also, init in child also. But now what I want to do is I want to execute both the constructors, both the constructors. So for this, what you have to do is from your by default when the two parent and child both are having constructors, only child constructor will be executed, right? So now that we know. But here we want to execute parent constructors. In that case, you have to call the parent constructor from the child constructor. So here what happens? Here what will be happen? Now here child constructor, child, when you create the object for child, so child init will be executed. From the child init, we are going to call parent init. Okay. So child constructor is executed. Child constructor also calls the parent constructor. Okay, both the constructor will execute. If child constructor calls the parent constructor, please repeat the portion again. Which portion? Sunita, which portion you want to repeat? Okay. So here in the first case, only parent is having the constructor, child does not have constructor, then the child will use the parent constructor, right? Then if both the parent and child both are having constructor, means the child will execute its own constructor only. It will not consider parent constructor. That won't be executed. Now in the third scenario, when both the child and parent both are having the constructors, by default we know that the child will execute only its own constructor. But now I want to execute both the constructors. So if that is the case, what you supposed to do is you have to call parent init from, you have to call parent init from your child. So you execute the child constructor and also call manually your parent constructor from your child constructor. Okay, that we have to do. How we have to do that? So that we will discuss in the program. Oh, this is clear. This concept is clear. Right. Now let us go back to our program. So that is what we are doing here. So when P1 is having the constructor and when C1 is also having the constructor, right? So what I am doing, child is taking three parameters apart from the reference. Okay. Then it is called super. Here the super keyword is there, na? Super keyword. The super dot underscore init underscore xy, right? That means by using the super keyword, we are going to call the constructor of parent class. Super means super class. Super class is nothing but your parent class is also called as super class. Okay. So by using the super function, this is a predefined function called super. By using this particular function, you can call your parent constructor. Now here what I am doing, super method dot underscore init. Of course that we know this parent constructor is taking two variables now. So the two variables I have to pass. Because from where it is being passed, already this my child constructor is taking through three parameters. In that three parameters, x and y I am passing to parent constructor. So x and y will come here, and here the corresponding addition will be done, right? So then after that self2 dot var equal to z. Z means another third variable. X and y are given to the super constructor, na? That is parent constructor, na? And the third variable name this child is utilizing. Actually, child is taking 3 parameters. In the 3 parameters, 2 parameters it is giving to the parent constructor. It is calling the parent constructor and it is giving the 2 parameters to parent. And the third parameter z is it is utilizing for its purpose, right? Now, okay. Now what I am doing here? Something like that. Okay. Okay. Now what I am doing here? So I am declaring another function my print. Okay. So here I am going to print C. C means the result of A plus B. Then var. Var means its own value variable. Okay. So now here I am passing. Object name is O. I am creating the object for which class? Only C1. I'm passing 3 values 10, 20, 30. So 10, 20, 30. Okay. So in that 10 and 20 will be given to the parent class constructor. By using the super keyword, super method, we can call the parent constructor. Super dot underscore underscore init underscore underscore give the parameters. Okay. Then it will print. So here 10 and 20, 30. Then here in var also 30 will be stored. If you print C and var value, what will be the result? So now here I'm calling my print function. So my print function, what it is doing? It is printing C as well as var variable values. Now what will be the answer? Answer will be 30, 30. Yes, answer will be 30, 30. Of course, previous program not commented. That's the reason previous result also coming. So 30, 30. Now here it is also possible to execute both the constructors, that is parent constructor as well as child constructor. By default, only child constructor will be executed. If at all, if you want to execute the parent constructor also, what you have to do is from your child constructor, you write the code to call the parent constructor. How we can write? For that, we have the super method dot underscore underscore init, and we mention the number of parameters that your parent constructor is taking. Right? So hope it is clear to everyone. Any doubt? Right? Any doubt? Because this is very important thing. All these are interview questions. Okay. Sunita, whether I have to repeat program or concept? Program, fine. So here in P1, my parent, I'm declaring one constructor, and in child, I'm having my own constructor. But now in this case, I want to use by default here already we have discussed, when the child and parent both are having the constructor, only child constructor will be executed. No, I don't want to do like that. I want to execute parent constructor as well as child constructor. So for that, what you have to do is, from your child constructor, that is, this is your child constructor. Sorry, what happened? Something is deleted. Okay, this is your child constructor, right? This is your child constructor. From your child constructor, you can call your parent constructor. So if you want to execute your parent constructor also, then what you have to do? You have to call your parent constructor from your child constructor. How I can call the parent constructor from my child constructor? By using this method. This method, super method is used to call the parent constructor. If you mention the super method, that indicates it will understand that okay, now the child wants to use parents constructor. Okay, right? So then you mention the constructor with the number of arguments. So here x and y I'm giving here. So this x and y will be passed to A and B. That x and y value both are added. That result will be stored in C. Okay. Then in the this method is used to call the parent class constructor. Now the parent constructor is called and it is executed. Now in the child class constructor also it is having some functionality. So here what I did is, okay, I'll write some, I'll create one variable, I'll assign this z value to that variable. Okay, this is the functionality of my child class, my child constructor. Okay, what is the functionality of my parent constructor? So it will take the x and y values, both are added, and it is get stored in the, see, this is the functionality of my parent constructor. Right, now what I'm doing here, in class, child class, I'm creating one more function, user defined function called myPrint. So it does not take any parameters, right? So what it is doing, it is printing the value of C. Yes, C, whether it can access C. Yes, we can access C because this parent constructor we have executed by calling it from the child constructor. So C value will be printed and var value will be printed. Okay. Now here what I'm doing, when I'm creating the object for child one is taking how many parameters? X, Y, Z, 3 parameters. I'm passing 10, 20, 30. So in that 10, 20, X and Y will be given to, first two parameters will be given to the parent, right? So that is 10 and 20 will be given to the parent, 10 and 20 will be added here, in the C, 30 will be stored, right? Then third value will be given to the Z, value will be stored in the var, right? So the 30 value will be stored in the var. Then I'm calling my print function. In my print function, what I'm doing, I'm printing the C value as well as I'm printing the var value. So it is printing 30 and 30. So if you execute, it will print 30, 30. Okay. So that means all the scenarios are possible here, right? So now the concept is this one, right? When both the parent and child both are having the constructors, only child constructor will be executed because this will override the parent constructor. But if you want to execute both the constructors without overriding, you can call the parent constructor by using the super method. Okay, right? Any doubt here? So the Gupta is asking, if I will not use A plus B, then whatever the functionality you want, you can use it. Here for for getting some output, for printing something, I have added two numbers here. That's all. Here you can write print A, print B also. Whatever you want, you can write. That is up to you. Okay. Any doubts? Yeah. So tomorrow we will discuss multiple inheritance and multi-level inheritance. Okay. Multiple inheritance and multi-level inheritance. Then we'll move on to the exception handling. Okay. So hope it is clear to everyone. Now we have started the Python as a Python for beginners. Now it became advanced, right? That's the reason I'm not mentioning beginner in the course registration also. Okay, right? So you just practice these things with multiple scenarios, multiple programs, because now hope most of the people understood, right? Now if you leave this now without practicing, again you will get confusion. If after 1 week if I ask now, definitely I'm sure you will not answer, right? Now the concept is clear. At this moment immediately you practice for at least some 3-4 programs on this particular scenario only, at least minimum 3-4 programs. So then you will get this concept. Even if I ask after 6 months also, you will answer. Manish, क्या आपका क्वेश्चन क्या है मनीष? What is your question, Manish? Where is your question? Okay, sir, can we do child constructor x into y or parent constructor x plus y, both different operation? Yes, that is what we have discussed here, na? That is what we have discussed here. Instead of doing here, what you have to do is to take another value also, 40 also. Here x, y, z and u. Now what I am doing here, where z equal to where equal to z into u. Now So 10 and 20 will be added here by parent, and 30, 40 will be multiplied by the child. Now if you see, answer will be 30 and 1200, right? Whatever you want, you can do. That's all. Just I have explained only the concept. Here for understanding the concept, I may be using print or A plus B or A into B, right? But actual scenario, we will do our own functionality. Here my intention is not doing addition, multiplication or printing. Here my intention is to understand the concept of the child and parent. Not other variable. Yes, you can do that also. You can do that also, right? See, 10 and 20 will be passed here, 10 and 20 added here, 10 and 20 multiplied here, 30 and 200 answer. Okay, so whatever you want, you can do that. Okay, thank you everyone. Again, tomorrow we'll meet at 4 o'clock, 4 to 5. Thank you. Thank you, sir. From Nimi. Thank you, madam.